Imagine being that one poor sap that turned this thing into a custom in the early 2010s thinking, oh, Sam Hornish Jr. is leaving Penske. No big deal. Oh, God help him. Here is Sam Hornish Jr.'s 2010 Mobil 1 Dodge Charger. Howdy folks, it's Diecastbuffet here with a freaking incredibly rare COT diecast. I tell you what, man, this 2010 Sam Hornish Jr. Mobil 1 car, it's so freaking rare, it don't even have a box for it. Yeah, I bought this car for, you won't even believe the price I bought this car for, and I'll be telling you a little bit later in the video. This paint scheme, spectacular, super rare, and honestly, it's a freaking awesome car. This is from 2010. This is when the Dodges were kind of fading out of the sport, but Penske was still tootin' with it. I tell you what, man, this diecast is absolutely stunning. Now, this paint scheme has dried up unbelievably. The 08, the 09, the 010. I have all three of the primaries, but the cars dried up so much that you see these cars sometimes fetch $50, $60 mint. You can only imagine the price for just a loose one. $30-something on the pop. People will buy it, man. So, of course, I bought this car loose, right? And I'll tell you the price for it a little bit later. It does have a little bit of dirt here and there. You know, I could probably go around with a Q-tip real well, but I haven't really got around to it. Now, I bought this car, I think, sometimes last year, and this is a beautiful race car. So, you got Mobil 1 right there, you got Charger, you got Dodge, and you go over to the front of this car. Something about that Gen 5 Dodge nose in 2010 is just absolutely beautiful. You know, kind of a, I wouldn't say a bubble, but it's like a smooth front end. You know, they don't have the three-dimensional grille piece, just smooth there. Got the 77. Just something about that I really, really like. And of course, you got the, you know, the silver trim. You know, the paint scheme is just a simple whoosh, kind of the early design of the Penske Scout. So you have that silver that kind of shoots around. And to tell you the truth, this car reminds me so freaking much of Jerry Mayfield's late 90s 12 car. Very, very beautiful paint scheme. Of course, you got Sunoco, K&N, red splitter. Beautiful, stunning freaking diecast. And this car, I guess, was not produced nowhere near as much as the Kurt Busch 2010 or the 09 or whatnot, or even the Keselowski in the 2010. Because I tell you what, this paint scheme, I'm telling you, people will pay over $35 for this car, practically bare minimum most of the time. It's ridiculous. As soon as someone posts one of these cars online, they're like, oh, it's for sale. You got people crawling out of the woodwork to buy these freaking things. They didn't produce many of them, and the ones that are still around, I tell you what, man, they are very treasured. So if you have this car in your collection, maybe it's collecting some dust, I tell you what, man, it is red hot in the market right now. Of course, you got Sam Hornish Jr. right there on the name rail. Got PPG. I think that's Bosch, Snap-on, Mazak, and maybe Freightliner there. Got Mobil 1, got the AAA logo. And, you know, I built a couple 2010 cars. I built the 2010 Kurt Busch Dodge Charger. I actually built 3 of them, to be honest with you. The actual Miller Lite Dodge Charger, not the censored BS. I even built a 2010 Brad Keselowski as well. You can check those custom NASCAR diecast down below. You can check out the review on those. Got NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, NASCAR Race Car, Coors Light Polo Award with the censored, logo right there. You got Goodyear, Mobil 1 Mail, Boog, Lincoln Welders. Got that beautiful 77 there. You know, it's crazy to think that Brendan Gaughan and Travis Kapow drove this 77 back in the mid-2000s. Got Penske truck rental and Dodge right there. And the paint scheme, I tell you, man, look at that silver. That's not a flat silver. That is a reflective, very sharp silver. Love that. Go over here to the caboose of this diecast. And again, the Sam Hornish Jr. diecast are so freaking rare and sought after. It's incredible. And even though this car doesn't have a box to it, the price I paid for it, now, I tell you what, man, it'd make a lot of people croak nowadays. Now, sure, it's not a perfect condition car, but let's be honest, is anyone perfect? No. So you got Mobil 1 right there, got the 77, got Dodge, got your taillights. Of course, you have the Mobil 1 Pegasus right there. You know, I used to say that's like a horse galloping. No, I think the proper term for it is the Mobil 1 or Mobil Pegasus. They've had that logo since the Titanic. Let's basically say that. This paint scheme, though, is beautiful. The white, the black, the red, that silver, and a little bit of blue. You know, it kind of reminds me of a retro front end of the car with the Jeremy Mayfield days. but it kind of has like a modern flair with that whoosh, the early days of the Penske scallops with the silver. You got even red wheels, you know, and the 2010 releases for the Penske camp, you know, the Kurt Busch 2010 sensor, the Brad Keselowski 2010 car, and of course this one right here, the Sam Hornish Jr. All three of those cars are very uncommon. You know, the Keselowski, I remember buying that car for like $10 back in like 2015. That thing's doubled in value now. The 2010 Kurt Busch, it's very uncommon. Sure, it's censored, but it still fetches a good $15, $20. And this car is double that. It's incredible. Of course, you got the 77 right there. In the middle of the 77 is white with a very thin red outline. You go over here to the back end of the car. You got Kenwood. Listen to the future. Only if more people listened to the future and bought more of these freaking cars, because this thing absolutely dominates the COT market. And I think more people need to appreciate the COTs, because I remember back in 2013 collecting these cars, everyone was getting rid of them, right? They all wanted Gen 6 cars. They wanted the new Gen 5 cars. They wanted the Gen 6 mostly, but they were getting rid of COTs left and right. Now, sure, these weren't a dime a dozen back in 2013 or 2012, but they were still moderately available. If you were to buy a 2010 Juan Pablo Montoya diecast in 2013 for maybe $10.50 shipped, no tax, you would probably have to pay double that nowadays. I know inflation happens, but I tell you what, man, the diecast market for the COTs is shriveled up like an old sponge. If you're wondering how much I paid for this car, drum roll please, $7. Yeah, $7, yeah. I paid for that, I think it was either earlier this year or late last year. I paid $7 for this car. I have all three of the Sam Hornish cars. I didn't pay more than $10 for any of them. I could have tripled my money if I really wanted to. These cars are so darn rare. And I tell you what, man, if you have one, take care of it. Regardless if you care about diecast or not, take care of it, because these things are going up in value, man. Sure, they may not be the Red Bull 2010 or 2009 prices, or heck, even those 7 prices, but the Sam Hornish Juniors are one of the most sought-after NASCAR diecasts of all time for the COT era. I mean, can you blame them? I mean, look how beautiful this race car is, guys. Absolutely stunning race car. Wow. I'm very blessed to have all three of them, the 08, the 09, and I plan on doing reviews on those later down the road. I will say the 09's not, it's in, I would say, 7 out of 10 condition, maybe an 8 out of 10 condition. This one's probably a 9.5, besides a little dust here and there and a little bit of a few chips on the back end. This thing's practically perfect, man. Absolutely stunning diecast. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Make sure to please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new uploads of diecast content. If you want to see more Gen 6 diecast, COT diecast, new releases, all that good jazz, just please let me know down below. I tell you what though, this diecast is absolutely stunning, and it definitely holds a very, very warm spot in my collection. Beautiful freaking diecast. And with all that being said, folks, Diecastbuffet, I need some freaking coffee over here. Signing off. Stay humble.